You're not one post from your next breakthrough. You're not one strategy away. You're not one viral moment away. You're one relationship away. And many of us, that relationship is already closer than we think. Welcome to another episode of Missionary Moneymaker, while making a dime is making a difference. I'm your podcast host, Carl James Wynn Jr. And in this episode, we're going to look at your one person away, networking for kingdom impact. And we're going to be looking and anchoring it in the scripture. And we're going to look at Nehemiah. Nehemiah chapter 2, verse 1 tells us this. And it came to pass in the month of Nisan, in the 20th year of Artaxerxes the king, that wine was before him, and I took up the wine and gave it unto the king. Now I had not been before time sad in his presence. Wherefore the king said unto me, why is thy countenance sad, seeing thou art not sick? This is nothing else but sorrow of heart. Then I was very sore afraid, and said unto the king, let the king live forever. Why should not my countenance be sad, when the city, the place of my father's sepulchres, lieth waste, and the gates thereof are consumed with fire? Then the king said unto me, for what doest thou make requests? So I prayed to God of heaven, and I said unto the king, if it please the king, and if thy servant have found favor in thy sight, that thou wouldest send me unto Judah, unto the city of my father's sepulchres, that I may rebuild it. And the king said unto me, the queen also sitting by him, for how long shall thy journey be, and when wilt thou return? So it pleased the king to send me, and I set him a time. Moreover, I said unto the king, if it please the king, let letters be given me to the governors beyond the river, that they may convey me over till I come into Judah. And a letter unto Aspa, the keeper of the king's forest, and he gave me timber to make beams for the gates of the palace, which appertained to the house, and for the wall of the city, and for the house that I shall enter into. And the king granted me according to the good hand of the God, my God, upon me. And so as we look at that is Nehemiah. God used King Artaxerxes to help Nehemiah rebuild the wall of Jerusalem. And so remember, you are one person away, networking for kingdom impact. Don't let the music die with you. That is something I've been telling Christians for the last year. Many Christians say that they want to write a book. Well, that is my goal, is not to let the music die with you. Because guess what? Once you die, the value that you have, it can't come back out. And writing a book is a great way to increase your impact, your income, and influence. And my goal is to help 10,000 Christians in 2026 write and publish a book. So if that's you, I want you to download this free worksheet. It's called 5 Ways to Finding Your Unique Book Idea. And I want to help you write your book. Remember, don't let the music die with you. Go ahead and start singing it loud and proud right now. And remember, this is not about pride, but it's about productivity. Influence is not built through platforms, it's built through proximity. Jesus didn't just build influence by broadcasting. He built it by walking with people. Breakthroughs happen in rooms, at tables, and conversations most people never see. As we look at the scripture in Nehemiah chapter 2, we see how Nehemiah's proximity made provision for God's calling on his life. And not only that, his breakthrough not only came through King Artaxerxes, but he was able to get the resources that he needed in order to rebuild God's kingdom. So he not only got a letter he not only got released from his job as a slave, but he also received the materials that he needed in order to rebuild. And so proximity beats popularity. Tables shape trajectories. Trust always precedes influence. And today, I want to show you why through 3 truths that have shaped my own journey in the marketplace and on college campus and in ministry and life in general. Number 1, God moves through people, not just ideas. Here's the first truth. God moves through people, not just ideas. Now, this is true. God can come down himself and do everything. But the simple fact is God uses people. We see that in the book of Genesis, right? He entrusted all these things to man, right? I want you to be fruitful and multiply. I want you to subdue, have dominion. I want you to rule over these things. So he could have came down and did everything by himself. But we see that God used people. He uses people to accomplish his purpose. And so this is the truth. If God wanted to change the world with information alone, he could have dropped a manual from heaven. But instead, the truth is clear. He sent people. Every major shift in scripture and in my own life, it started with one person God positioned. As I think about my work on the college campus, I want to give a shout out to Jamie Russell, Pastor Jamie Russell. He's the director of the Baptist Student Ministry at Texas Southern University, but he's also my pastor of Nehemiah Community Church, which is called Nehemiah. No pun intended, but that's the truth, right? It's Nehemiah Community Church. But I got to that church through my relationship with Jamie. One day I was speaking at the same camp that he was speaking at. And so basically what happened, they put us in the same room and cabin. That's what it's cabin, same cabin. And we ended up talking. And lo and behold, about 3 months later, I was a part of their church. And so the rest is history. So God worked through that one relationship to position me to where I'm at today. In fact, I was able, because of my relationship with him, I was able to write a book called Why College Students is one of the most strategic investments. Reach the campus, reach the world. I would have never heard of college ministry, got involved in college ministry if it would not been from my relationship with Jamie. And so though that door to the college ministry opened because of one person, a conversation, an invitation, a relationship God had already orchestrated before I understood it. And take this. This is how God works. My wife knew Jamie, and I didn't even know that she knew him. She grew up going to the same church that Jamie went to, which is funny. She was very intimately connected with Jamie's in-laws, his wife. She grew up going to church with his wife. They were close friends. They knew each other. God has a sense of humor. He works things out. And so what I've learned is this: God's will often shows up wearing a name and a face. And when we overlook people, we often delay purpose. So God wants us to connect with people. And that is one of the biggest turning points in my life, coming from a small town in Navasota, Texas, coming to a big city in Houston. My greatest joy, my greatest value that I've been able to accumulate is through the relationships. I love connecting with people, and I know so many people now, not only in Houston, but in the entire world because of my relationships. And so this is the thing about it. You don't need a new idea as much as you need to recognize the person God has already placed near you. Welcome to Missionary Moneymaker, the podcast where making a dime is making a difference. I'm Carl James Wynn Jr., and we believe this: mission and money were never meant to be separated. Every Christian in the marketplace is a missionary, called to create value, solve problems, and steward influence for the glory of God. This podcast is a discipleship movement, a marketplace masterclass, and a prophetic reframe of how we think about work, wealth, and calling. Here, we equip entrepreneurs, professionals, and leaders to increase their impact, income, and influence without guilt, without comparison, just calling. If you're ready to leverage your past, walk in obedience, and build with purpose, you're in the right place. Let's go to work. Point number 2, access is earned through trust, not titles. So as we think about this second truth, most people are chasing visibility, but kingdom influence is built on credibility. Now, again, if you're not visible, there is no credibility. So you do need to be in the rooms with people. You do need to be connected with people, because if you're not connecting with them, they can't see you. So you do need to be visible. But not only that, but you need to connect with people. And I always like to share this with people, is that when I walk into a room, I'm not just walking into the room for consumption only. How can I get? But credibility is built on this contribution. You need to think about, how can you contribute when you go into these rooms, when you go into these places? Because everybody needs something. So when we show up to the room, show up into these places, networking, we don't need to be there showing up just to consume. We need to show up and say, how can I add value to this room? How can I add value to this person? And so recently, I got an invite to a group that I would never had gotten an invite to if I hadn't connected with this one individual. But not only that, I used my network, my network to write a post based on his book and based on meeting him. And I'm sure that contributed something to it, because I was able to write that post. He sent me a message. Hey, Carl, I want to invite you to this. So through that, he's allowing me to go deeper into his network. And so this happened because, again, I'm not just going into rooms for consumption, but I'm going into rooms showing, how can I add value to the lives of the people I'm in a room with? So think about this. The rooms I've been invited to didn't open because I impressed someone with a pitch. They opened because I showed up consistently, served faithfully, and stewarded the trust quietly. So platforms amplify, but proximity transform. So we need to think about that. How can I steward proximity? You need to be in these places. You need to show up consistently. And before anyone invites you to the table, they're going to be asking this silent question: can I trust you? Popularity asks, do you know who I am? See, I don't walk into the room asking, do you know who I am? That's not what I'm looking for. But I'm looking to show how I can add value to people. Proximity asks this: can I count on you? Before God promotes you publicly, he tests you privately, often through how you steward people. So you got to ask yourself, how am I stewarding a relationship God has already put in my place? Again, let me say this, and this is where many believers get frustrated. They want influence without investment, opportunity without obedience. But trust always precedes influence. So get close to people. Point 3, one conversation can collapse years of this delay. Most breakthroughs don't happen all at once. They happen one conversation at a time, one lunch at a time, one introduction at a time, one invitation someone else didn't have to extend but they did. So you got to continue to build relationship with people. Continue to build relationships with people and follow up on those relationships. Continue to do it. So just recently, I was on a phone call with a brother who want to continue to help me grow my ministry, grow my impact, my influence, and what he shared with me is that go ahead and follow up with those two individuals that we've already connected with. But then not only that, he said, I'm going to look through the list of people that I can think about connecting you with in the future. So again, both of us, me and him, know that we're looking for one breakthrough. That's all you really need, is one breakthrough, one relationship that can take you to the next level. And again, when I'm going into these rooms and meeting with these people, I'm not just going in to consume, but I'm going in to see how I can add value to them. So I often try to think about and research the individual that I'm going to meet with, so I can have something of content, some kind of connection with them, some way that I can add value to them when I step into the room with them. And so when I look back at my journey in business, ministry, writing, I can trace my entire season back to a single conversation I almost didn't have, a table I could have skipped, and a person I could have overlooked. Now, when I go to rooms, to the lunches, I know that God is going to work through whoever I sit with, whoever I talk to. I'm not going in there just trying to meet everybody. But I know that wherever I sit, wherever I land, God is going to work through those people. And so the truth is, we're one person away doesn't mean hustle. It means attentiveness. And God often uses ordinary conversation to unlock extraordinary seasons. And missed conversation often explain delayed breakthroughs. So get in the game. Go have those conversations with people. And think about this. Your next season may already be waiting on a conversation you've been postponing, or on a person you've been overlooking. So don't discount one relationship. Just recently, this past week, I've been at 2 strategic lunches, and I've sat at the table with 2 strategic people. And here I am. I'm at work building off those relationships. I'm already getting invitation to another place because of my relationship, because of one conversation with one person. The breakthrough is on the way. So it's not about ideas. It's about people. Who are you connecting to? You are one person away. So as I close this podcast episode, I want to make sure we reframe this for stewardship. This topic is not just about networking for gain. This is stewardship of relationship. So I want to encourage you, stop trying to impress, but start trying to serve. Your assignment isn't to chase room, it's to steward people. That is the main thing. You want to steward people. And if you haven't listened to some of the other podcasts, I said this, that God entrusts us with resources. It's our time, our talent, our treasures, and what I call our trust. Trust is relationships. It's the people that God has put in our lives for us to leverage for his glory and the good of others. So you want to make sure that you are stewarding those trusts properly, building those relationships authentically, and showing up to serve, living a life of contribution, not consumption. So here's the question I want you to sit with you this week. Who is one relationship God may be using to unlock your next season? Because you're not one post away. You're one person away from your breakthrough. in 2026. Hey, I want to thank you for watching this podcast, listening to this podcast. And I want to tell you, if this podcast has been a blessing to you, why don't you go ahead and like it, share it, and leave a comment wherever you listening to it, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Apple, whether it's on Spotify or other platforms. Go ahead and leave a comment. Go ahead and like it, because it helps me know that you're being impacted, but it also helps other people find the platform. It helps other people find the podcast. And go ahead and definitely share it. And remember this: we're trying to build a community. So go ahead and invite other people into this ecosystem, into this community, because guess what? As we just said, we're one relationship away. And so who can be in this community? Invite. Think about who needs to be in this missionary moneymaker community, so we can not only make a dime, but we can make a difference. So God bless you, and I'll see you in the next episode. Missionary Moneymaker, where making a dime is making a difference. This is a discipleship movement, a marketplace masterclass, and a bold reframe of mission and money, helping Christians increase impact, income, and influence without guilt, without comparison, just calling.